Hey guys, and welcome to the Hobby News. Alright, so this week we've got some pre-orders for Eldar, and yeah, another little sneaky preview there of something coming up for Underworlds as well, which is definitely, perking my interest, as I love Undead, but we'll take a look at that in a second. But first we've got some Eldar stuff, so let's take a look. So it's basically going to be a combat patrol for them, so we'll come down here and have a look. So it says that it's up for pre-order right now, so this is it. And yeah, it looks pretty nice. I mean, it's got a nice mix of units in it. I'd say, judging by all of the leaks and everything that's going on for Eldar, I'm sure everything in this box is good, or in some ways useful, so I doubt that this is a bad box for Eldar. I'm sure you'll be able to make use of it, or Aeldari as they're called now, and yeah, so we'll see if they show a closer photo here of the units. Yep, so we've got the Warlock here. I'm assuming that's a Warlock. I would say so, or a Farseer at least. Yeah, it's got to be a Farseer, right? Okay, so formed around a core of redoubtable, objective-grabbing guardians, this combat patrol offers a force that embodies everything the Aeldari are famed for: speed, psychic abilities, and withering firepower. It's led by okay, I'm not even going to say that word. Farseer, it's a Farseer, right? Who can dish out mortal wounds, yep, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, all good. So really, we're looking at the model. So, yeah, this is nice. I think this was one of the new ones, wasn't it, that was coming? I'm pretty sure I've already looked at these. It's hard to tell sometimes with some of these Eldar HQs. They kind of look kind of similar, but I think this is one of the new ones, right? Someone can tell me in the comments. But, a nice model. I'm going to be trying some of these over the course of the year, a few Eldar models, and some Dark Elder and Elves. I haven't painted any in my entire hobby life. It's over 30 years. I've never painted any, so I'm going to be having a go at it, just because I'm interested in some of the color palette options and things that go along with these type of models. They sort of suggest different schemes that you otherwise wouldn't do. So yeah, I'm interested to have a little go at it and see if that expands my painting repertoire. But I'll be coming up with videos for that over the course of the year. You'll see some of those and some of my thoughts on that and all of that sort of thing, which I do, for my in the hobby chats and all that kind of stuff. But for this, yeah, pretty cool. I mean, you're definitely going to use this model if you're going to be playing Eldar, and same for the jet bikes. Every Eldar army pretty much is going to use these. I can't see why you wouldn't. I guess maybe the Shining Spears are the more optimal option, but, yeah, I mean, for casual games and so on, I can't see why you wouldn't be using the normal jet bikes as well. I'm pretty sure these these are definitely a separate kit, right? So, yeah, I mean, again, a solid pick. There's nothing really bad about any of that. The Wraith Guard, the larger one here, I can't remember what his name is now. Is this the normal? They've got the normal Wraith Guard. This is the Wraith Lord, that's right. And yeah, I'm sure he'll be good in the new rules. And obviously the new Guardian kit is great. We've already looked at that. But overall, pretty solid. And yeah, I mean, what else do you want to say about it? It's going to be cool. In terms of cost, I think these have gone up a bit in price since last I looked at them. So if you're in Australia or New Zealand, this is pretty costly now, I'm pretty sure. Maybe for the rest of the world, it's still an average price point. But for Australia, unfortunately, New Zealand, we pay the premium on these, which is a bit sad. But if you're doing Eldar, then I guess this is a great way to begin if you're new, that sort of thing. If you're sort of more experienced, I guess these boxes aren't really that useful for you, because you're going to more want to pick and choose what you're collecting. But yeah, it's a nice mix of models for sure. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to painting one of these little guys and seeing what I can do on it. Anyone that's been watching my videos knows I love a good blue-green color scheme, but I'm going to try something I think a little bit different for these. Not different, but I want to go for, I guess I'm going to be, I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what I'll be doing. But for these Eldar, I want to do some sort of like inspired color scheme from like, I guess a dark, deep forest, a wet forest, that sort of misty forest kind of setting, evergreen, that sort of thing. So there'll definitely be blues and greens in there, but yeah, something somber, something melancholic, that sort of thing. This is a dying race, so I want to try to invoke some of that, just play around with those colors, maybe some brighter tones as well to contrast, things that you would normally see in a really, dark forest like that, the flowers and so on that you would see. So I'm going to be drawing for some inspiration from that, I think, and playing around with some of those things and trying to come up with a color scheme that's fun. So that'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, you'll definitely see it on the channel in the future. But otherwise, yeah, really great. So this will be coming up. You can pre-order it now, and I'm assuming next week sometime it'll come out to buy in stores and hobby shops and that sort of thing. So I guess we'll move on now to what's really perked my interest, which is Underworlds. And we've got a little zombie here, and this is looking really cool. I had someone tell me this earlier, quite a few months ago now, that they were doing something like this, or they mentioned that something like this was coming out. So I'm definitely going to be painting these for the channel for sure. You'll see some tutorials and different things on, you know, undead skin and all that sort of thing. I'm a big fan of color glazing and doing this type of color transitions from different skin tones like we see on this model. And yeah, definitely I'm going to be playing around with that. So you'll be seeing that on the channel. But let's see what they talk about this. So Coil, I guess his name is coming to claim Harrowdeep and will fight anyone with his borrowed arm. Okay, so apparently he's animated by some sort of arc, I don't know, energy or something. It talks about that. So Coil is an arc walker animated by the force dynamic, an arcano electric force that flows through all things, led by their shadowy leader, which it doesn't say who that is. The exiled dead have made their way down to Harrowdeep. Yeah, so it's some sort of, I guess, more more Frankenstein inspired, I guess, undead. So you're going to get sort of a bit of a biomechanical kind of feel for these. My own brand, Blight of Gods, I do a similar theme where I've got some that are sort of, my zombies are sort of animated in this way where they've got implanted, I guess, magical devices that help animate them rather than necessarily being raised by a necromancer. So for my zombies, and you'll see that if you go and take a look at the link in the down there and have a look at them, that they've got that sort of idea. But I put like a kind of, the back cavity of their heads is carved out, and there's like a little mechanism in the back, so it's done through the brain. But yeah, this is cool. You got like sort of mechanical parts in the arm and so on. It's a nice idea. I'll be really interested to see what other models come out in this little group, and what sort of like ideas or designs they decide to go for. But it looks like this is sort of a powered arm or something like that. Yeah, really interesting. It's a cool idea. It's definitely a fun one to play around with because it gives you some good sculpting opportunities, and I'm sure the sculptors have had fun doing these. You can see that, you know, I mean, undead are always fun, right? I mean, you know, they're a good subject to sculpt for sure. There's really nothing, you can't really go wrong with it. It's always good. But yeah, really fun one. Nice classic pose, as we can see from the art as well. They're going off of that. You know, there's all kinds of possibilities here for paint schemes, and as we see, discolorations, lots of color changes in the skin. This is all done with color glazing. If you don't know much about that, you can check some of the videos on my channel that'll go through some of those ideas, mostly on metals, but the same goes for skin too. It's all the same sort of thing. You're just basically transitioning over into different colors via glazing. So you'll have like a base. This skin tone here is probably the base, and they've added these other pinks and purples and greens over the top to slowly transition over, and then a few highlights on top of that. Same with the metals as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to see the rest of it. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, definitely the Underworlds warbands are some of the best fantasy figures they produce. They're always fun, lots of unique models, lots of character models, everything like that. It's one of the big pleasures of painting that I've found in the recent years that I've been back in this hobby. These Underworld models are great. I still haven't played a game of it, but regardless of the game, the models themselves are just always a lot of fun. I find them really pleasurable to paint. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one.